Yes! Oh, yes, I reckon that is a brand new world record. Go me! Oh, but I'm so hungry after that. With all this running and jumping, I'm going through so much food. Wait, that was my last loaf of bread. Oh no. I'm down to the zombie flesh. Yuck. Oh, but I'm getting sick of farming and killing all the animals just so I can eat. If only there was a better way of getting a permanent source of food. Oh, I'm so close to home. But if I don't eat now, I could starve to death. Oh, the choices are grim. Rotten flesh or my emergency golden apple. That is a tough choice. My emergency golden apple is supposed to be for emergencies. Is this an emergency? I don't think so. All right, rotten flesh it is. Oh, I hate doing that. It makes me sick every time. Well, better get home. Hey, what's this? A lamp? I've never seen one of these before. You don't think it could be like from the movies? Let's give it a little bit of a rub and see what happens. Who are you? I'm free. I'm free. My name is Genie. Thank you for waking me from my sleep. I have the power to grant you any wish you desire. All it will cost you is your soul. My soul? I don't even know if I have one of those. Okay, seems like a fair deal to me. Now, what could I wish for? What about boats that don't break? No. What about more bed colours? I can't think on the spot like this. What about something weird? I know, a cow crossed with a mushroom. No, that's just stupid. Come on, I don't have all day. Okay. Solve my food problems. Trivial. Okay, watch carefully as I place down this crafting table. Hand me that golden apple. Now, if I place the golden apple onto this crafting table and step away... There. I've duplicated your golden apple, but this duplicate will last a lifetime. I call it the Infinigapple. Wow, I can't wait to try this out. How do I pay you? I mean, what did you want again? My soul? Do not worry, I'll be back to collect one day. Wow, that was weird. I gotta try this thing out. Well, what a strange day. That genie somehow turned my golden apple into, what did he call it? An Infinigapple? Well, I gotta try this out. Okay, let's see what happens. What? I just ate that apple and it restored all of my hunger and I've got regeneration. But I've still got an apple. Can I eat another one? I can. Oh yes. Infinigapple. Oh, Infinigapple. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft The Journey with me, BugmanCX, and here we are, above the ravine. And I can say above now because it's not covered inside of a cave underground somewhere. It's exposed to the sky because in between now and the last episode, I've been busy. I've been digging, I've been powering through all of my tools and digging out all of this stone to open the ravine to the sky. And I did not realize how much work was going to be involved in doing this, and I'm very tired of doing it now, but it is done, and I think this has transformed the area significantly. Now, we've got quite a bit more work to do down here to make things look a bit more natural. As you can see over on this side, there's this little inlet section which used to connect to this part of the land here, but now that the ravine's open, there's just this chasm in between us. As you can also see, I've added a little walkway bridge here, which mimics what what you find in ravines, at least in more modern ravines in Minecraft typically, and I thought that that was just a way of helping to break up this very, very flat cliff face here. And this side too is also extremely flat, as you can see here. So we've got a lot of work to do to try and make this feel a bit more natural. Of course, I couldn't choose where the ravine goes. The ravine was just where it was, and it just decided to be underneath all of these mountains. So it made my work 10 times harder. But what we're going to do here, I think, is carve away this part of the mountain here and flatten this section to about where my cursor is, and then all of this section inside of here will go eventually. And that way the top of the ravine will be a bit more clean on the top of the surface here and less high up and less sheer, and we can make the cliffs drop down here like this. So we are changing the terrain a little bit, but I do think it will be for the better in the long run. Now, earlier today I ran into a genie of all things, and he gave me an infinigapple. And the infinigapple allows me to eat golden apples infinitely, like so. I can eat a full apple and it stays in my inventory. But I'm a little bit clever, and I'm pretty sure I know exactly how that genie managed to do that. Ever since updating to beta 1.8, I've started noticing some strange behavior with the crafting table. Now, if I right click on it and let's say I want to make a chest, I put all of my planks into the crafting grid like so, and as you can see, they're all here, and here's the chest that I'm about to make. But if I press escape, all of the wood planks that I just had in the crafting table go down onto the floor. But if I walk into this pile, you'll see that I've picked up my 8 wooden planks, but there are still planks here on the ground. And I had always thought that these had just become weirdly duplicated and that these were ghost items, because every time I tried to walk through them and pick them up, nothing would happen. And I really didn't understand what was going on there. But then I've got my 8 wooden planks here, so, oh, notice that? As I pick them up, it's left one behind. But this one doesn't really exist in a sense. Like, there are just times where if I put it back into the stack, oh, it disappears, and now it reappears. Yeah, that's really odd. Don't know what's going on there, but let me try and put the planks back in here like that. Let's put that one there and then try and put that one there. Okay, now I've gained an extra wooden planks because I'm able to craft a chest, and I've got 1 wooden planks left over, and did you see that? It just appears in my inventory again, mysteriously, and yeah, this was freaking me out because I don't know what's going on here, and it turns out that what this is the negative stack issue that we've seen before. I've used that to create strange stacks of tools where the tools go into the negative, and I've also done that with other items too. So what I've done is with the golden apple, I've done exactly the same thing, but because the golden apple is a consumable item, it provides me some interesting side effects. So let's go up to the crafting table again and right click on it, and let's put the golden apple in the crafting table. Now, of course, the golden apple doesn't have any crafting recipes, so there's nothing to make. But if I do step away, the golden apple does duplicate. As you can see right here, 2 now exist on the ground. And this is exactly the same behavior as these wooden planks over here. And if I walk back into the golden apples, as you can see, there are still 2 here on the ground, but there's now 1 in my inventory. And I think what's really happened here is that because these have become negative in value, so in other words, there is like -1 on the ground here, and now this golden apple has a stack value of also -1. When I eat it, like that, the game says, oh, subtract 1 from the golden apple, so -1 minus 1 is -2. So now I have -2 golden apples right here in this stack. So it'll just keep counting down into the negative. And just like we've seen before, once it reaches -127, it should roll over and I should get 128 golden apples once again. So that is a bit of a weird bug, very, very peculiar. And right now, the only way I'm going to abuse this bug is by giving myself this 1 infinigapple for a little while at least. It probably won't last forever, so while we have it, why not use it? It's all in good fun, right? But while we're talking about the golden apple, let's just remind ourselves about why the golden apple is so amazing. As you can see, I'm down to 1 hunger point now, and if I lose that hunger point, I'm going to start to starve. My health is also down. Now, in early Minecraft, or at least in beta 1.8 Minecraft, I mean, in order to recover hearts, I need to be no more than 2 hunger haunches down. So if I eat some food right now, it'll recover some of my hunger, but it won't be enough for me to start recovering my health, unless I eat the golden apple. So if I eat the golden apple, it's recovered 10 points of hunger, which is half of my full hunger bar. But as you can see, my hearts are regenerating. Why are they regenerating? Because the golden apple has given me some kind of regeneration. At least maybe an early form of regeneration before effects come into the game more formally. So I'm actually able to recover my hearts regardless of my hunger level, and I'm able to do that any time I want. In fact, if I eat this golden apple, it's filled up my hunger bar, and I can eat golden apples even when I'm full. So if my health goes down for some reason, let's say I'm in a sticky situation and my hunger hasn't dropped down yet, I can still eat a golden apple. It'll give me regeneration, and I'll start healing my hearts instantaneously and much faster. So this is going to be a fun thing to carry around for a little while, at least until I probably lose it, or who knows what could happen. I wanted to come on to something else today, which is down here in the swamp. I've been living in this area for quite a while now, as you know, putting in the hours digging out this ravine, and all the while, the swamp has been growing. Let's go and take a little bit of a closer look at what's going on over there. As you can see, these vines on the trees have now grown all the way down to the ground level, and they've also started spreading across horizontal planes like that as well. But it gets worse, because if I just head over this way, have a look at this mountain. It looks like the vines from this tree have spread all the way across this section here and grown upwards and completely encased that mountain. And if you look up the back there, you can also see right up there where that sheep is. Wow. Wow, look at this. The entire mountain, this entire mountain is going to be covered in vines in a matter of days. I don't know what to do about this. This is like the world's worst weed infestation. Is there anything I can do? I mean, if I just come down here and start harvesting the vines, that'll keep it trim, but that's a lot of work to do on a regular basis. Is there any way I can stop these? Oh, look at it down here as well. It's covering everything. Everything. Doesn't it look so different up there now that you can actually see the sky? It's very, very different from down here too, because now it's all well lit. And I've just realized, ouch. Oh, can we make a chicken? No. Oh, by the way, look at the sky through the void fog. It's dark and gloomy. I've just realized that my digging days are not over, because one of the plans that I have for this ravine is to open it not only to the sky, but also the void. So the first job I've got to do is to dig out all of this stone all the way down to bedrock, and then we've got some methods of getting rid of that bedrock too. I'm going to put a glass floor on the bottom, I think, just to save myself from falling into the void too often, but I like the idea of having the whole world cracked open like this from sky to void, as if some sort of Mother Nature's revenge has happened here and it's cracked the earth right open all the way down to the void. But I've only got one iron pickaxe left, so I've got quite a lot of digging to do. Here I go. All we've got down here right now is the moonlight that's breaching through the void fog, and look, it is quite dark, isn't it? That's what the void fog does, of course. So I'm just going to torch things up a little bit because it's a little bit hard to see all of that beautiful bedrock that we've exposed through all the void fog and the nighttime sky. Now, I love the bedrock floor. It always looks great and it's always fun to use it in a build somehow, But that's not what we're going to do here. Like I said before, we're going to delete these bedrock blocks down here. It's going to take a fair bit of work, I think. And we're going to have our ravine open from sky to void, completely open. Now, how are we going to do that in beta 1.8 pre-release re-upload? Well, there happens to be a bug in this version that we can exploit that gets fixed, I believe, in the next version, pre-release 2. And what is that bug, you might be asking? Well, do you remember a few episodes back when we explored the new swamps and we were discussing the addition of the new giant mushroom, which is possible if you place a mushroom on a block and then grow it with bone meal? It just so happens that in this version, if you grow a giant mushroom, it will replace the block beneath it with a dirt block. So if we grow this mushroom, let's hope it's got enough room. I might actually have to dig out a fair bit more space. I didn't take that into account. Let's try a red mushroom, because a red mushroom requires less space to grow. Right here. Okay, let's try that again. Take 2. Okay, if we grow the red mushroom, I'm hoping it won't grow. Why won't it grow? Uh-oh. Well, I thought that I was going to be mistaken and that I wasn't going to be able to do this, but it turns out that I was right. There just wasn't enough room for the mushrooms to grow. So if we want to remove all of this bedrock here, I'm going to have to push these walls back a fair bit, just as I'm doing the work to give the mushrooms room to grow, and then I might have to bring them back in and rebuild them somewhat. So if I pop down here, I now should be able to demonstrate what I was trying to show before, and that is that if I place a mushroom on the block and bone meal it, watch that bedrock right there. We'll see what happens. Did you see that? It turned it into a dirt block. So what we can do is get rid of this mushroom. And of course, this will provide us with unlimited mushrooms while we're working on this. And then I can just simply remove the dirt block. So now it's the tedious task of doing this 150 more times and removing all of this remaining bedrock. Well, I had to stop that time lapse a little bit earlier than I expected because I was dealing with a lot of lava problems and I just had to stop and push these walls back and use a lot of gravel to do it. As you can see in here, look at the size of this lava lake. I don't know. Look at it, it's huge, and it goes all the way around there to that side as well. There's even more lava just over here, not as much, but enough to keep spewing in here. There was also lava over on this side and in the back here. Oh, it was just terrible. But I have got rid of most of it now, and look at this. If we go down here, you can see just how dark the void fog is. You can barely see, 10 meters in front of you. It's really, really dark. This has turned out to be a much bigger job than I first imagined. As you can see, the lava through there is still really annoying, and I'm still battling that every now and then and having to push the boundaries back to make more space. But I've also marked out this ring up here so that I've got an approximate view of where I want this hole to be. And as you can see, it's quite large, and that means that I've got to push into these walls here and make sure that I've got enough space for mushrooms to grow. From down the bottom, with all the void fog down here, you can see that if I pop down, let's say here, you can barely see anything. I can't even see the ring, so I've got to do a lot of measuring for myself. But what I do is I've been working from the approximate center here, and I can just come down and put a mushroom down. Let's try here. Now the brown mushrooms seem to be working better for me at the moment because they just grow. There's plenty of space up there for them to grow, thankfully, and I continue to chop. So once I've dug out some of the center section here, I'm hoping to be able to breach the void, and then I'll just start creeping my way out until I've made enough void hole space that I'm happy with, and we'll see how it looks. For now, I've got a lot more mushroom mining ahead of me. After many, many, many hours of work down there, I've carved out a fair bit. It's not as much as I'd originally planned. The original plan was to pretty much carve out this entire section all through underneath here and expose the entire thing to the void. But I think what I'm going to have to settle for instead is just a smaller section in the middle here, almost like a huge lightning bolt might have crashed and formed this ravine and struck right here, breaching the void. And the reason I need to scale this back is because of the immense amount of work required just to remove any single piece of bedrock. Let's go down there and I'll show you a little bit more about what I mean. As you can see from down here, it's kind of carved out in this dish-like shape. And the reason it needs to be concave like this is because in order to free up enough space for the mushrooms to grow in this section, there needs to be enough clearance on the sides. So the further out that I try and break blocks, in order to place a mushroom, say, over there, I need to break blocks up here and so on and so forth. So I've resulted in pushing a lot of these walls back many, many times and creating this kind of concave effect. Now, this little section down here in the middle is actually Y level 0, I believe, or at least this should be the bottom of the world. So as soon as I open that up, I should see the void. So I'm keen to go and do that right now because I've spent many, many hours. Oh yeah, by the way, it's so dark, it's impossible to see. I've spent many, many hours working down here. There should be enough clearance around here for me to grow at least one mushroom. So let's pick up some bone meal and yes, okay, mushroom. Let's get rid of the stem. I'll get rid of the top later. But underneath this block here should be dirt. Oh, this is exciting. Okay, and when I break this dirt, void. We have the void. So all I need to do now is just make more and more of these and clear out this entire section here. Oh, this is exciting. And here we are. Here is our big brown hole ready to be opened up to the void. I've just realized what this looks like. But anyway, we're soon to have access to the void. And of course, just even to get this small area of dirt right here is required so much work. Removing so many mushrooms, of course, each block requires a full mushroom to be grown and then torn down, but also any of the blocks that are preventing the mushroom from growing need to be torn down, and then blocks that are blocking that mushroom and blocks that are blocking that mushroom, and oh, it's just a dependency nightmare. But this is what we've got. So, well, actually, you know what I should do? I should check my statistics, because if I go to blocks and then scroll down to the bottom here, oh my, this is the two types of mushroom, I think, red and brown. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, that is a lot. That's 15, nearly, well, it's about 16,000 blocks that I have broken just for this. Yeah, so I think that's enough. Job complete. Let's go open it up. Hi, you ready for this? You get a better view up there because there's less void fog, but from down here, I can barely see anything. So I've got to make sure I don't fall in. Let's do this together. One row at a time. I'm being very careful. I don't know why I'm holding shift even though I'm not breaking any of the blocks underneath me, but I definitely don't want to fall into this hole. All right, let's stand on the bedrock and do this. This is slightly terrifying. Just a couple of blocks to go. And there we go. We've got void. Oh, it's dark down there. I wonder what it looks like from down below. Or I wonder what it looks like from up above. Look at that. It looks incredible, right? Just like a hole into who knows where. Hello? You! What do you want? Don't be alarmed. I'm here to collect. What do you mean, collect? Remember our deal? 1 soul for an infinigapple? Oh yeah, but I don't know if I'm ready for this yet. We'll soon see. Oh, no! Ah, well, that was unexpected, I suppose. I guess this is the end of the episode. So, thanks for watching. And as usual, an extra special thank you to my amazing patrons. I really appreciate your support. Feel free to check me out on Discord. There are links to that below and links to Patreon as well. But for now, this has been BugmanCX. You've been watching Minecraft The Journey. Oh, this is agonizing. Bye-bye!